unfortunate part is nobody's thought about the repercussions if it doesn't pass tonight. Especially when it's-
I said,
This is
"Hey, I've
unusual.
seen you in 3 They have 3 kids and there's 2 of them.
We're close, but a couple of times.
And you have to adjust as a parent. You have to adjust.
5 o'clock. Meeting come to order. Okay.
Father God, we come to you today not only to bless us, but bless the community as well. Thank you for allowing us to come together to help our county become a greater place. Ask you to be merciful and provide us with your blessings. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Leyland,
present.
Commissioner File, Chair Dice,
Here.
Commissioner Marquetti,
Here.
Commissioner Benjamin,
Here.
Commissioner Bryce,
Here.
and Commissioner Jones.
Yep.
Number 4. Introduction of visitors. We'll start with the young man on the end right here. Yeah, you.
Good afternoon, my name is Gary Marquetti, I'm the Otwood Township Supervisor.
My name's Michael Leyland, I'm a Cass County resident.
Hi, Ambrosia Meldon, Content Manager.
The Reef Facilities Director. Riley Cass, Mason Township Delegate.
RJ Lee, it'd be District 8 Potential Commissioner.
Hope Anderson, County Treasurer.
Pete Anderson, Calhoun Township resident.
Jennifer Renfro, Finance Director. Erica Esplin, GIS Director.
Clint Roach, Undersheriff.
Richard Banky, Sheriff.
Mark Howey, Jefferson Township Delegate.
Mary Howie, candidate for Commissioner, 5th District.
Rose Kelsheimer, Jefferson Township Deputy Treasurer.
Kevin Kelsheimer, Jefferson Township. Thank you all. Public comment. Floor is open for public comment. Limit 3 minutes per comment and please state your name. There's no public comment? Okay. Approval of the agenda.
Yes, thank you. I move for the approval of the agenda for September 15th, 2022 as presented.
Support.
Properly moved and supported. Approval of the agenda. Is there any discussion? None? Vote all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
due to a potential conflict of interest, I'd like to abstain from number 8 on under new business.
Great. Okay. Okay, we have the recognition. No presentations. Opposed, consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, motion 170-22, a motion to approve claims dated September 2nd, 2022, and motion 171-22, a motion to approve the September 1st, 2022 Board of Commissioners regular meeting. I move the above listed items be voted on at one time by roll call vote and be considered as a consent agenda by the Board of Commissioners.
I second that.
Probably moved and supported. Consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the motion? No discussion. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Leyland,
Yes.
Commissioner File,
Yes.
Chair Dice.
Yes.
Commissioner Marquetti,
Yes.
Commissioner Benjamin,
Yes.
Commissioner Grice,
Yes.
and Commissioner Jones.
Yep.
Motion passes. Committee reports. Commissioner Leyland.
Just two simple things. I've got a copy of the Market Van Buren annual report, if anybody wants to see it. I can leave it in my mailbox if you'd like, and then just a reminder to everybody for the special meeting on the 29th regarding the historic courthouse. That's all I have.
29th?
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner File.
No report.
Commissioner Marquetti.
Just a very short report. I was not able to attend the health department meeting, but I do know that they have the Omicron-specific vaccine available, and they like you to make an appointment, but it will be given out in Dowagiac at the health department office, and that office is open Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 to noon, and then 1 to 3. And I attended the Van Buren County, I attended some of that meeting. I wasn't able to attend all of it. I did it on Zoom for their broadband. And they are partnering with some number of their townships to use the ARPA money. And if you, the maps that they have, that they map, they're absolutely incredible. And if anybody would like to see those maps, I have them and I can forward them to you. It's amazing. There's some locations where they have 5 providers. And somebody can live here and have access to 3 providers, and the guy across the street has none.
Yeah, because with that mapping, they go directly to
Yeah.
every parcel.
They went to every parcel. It's very interesting. And that's it for me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
I had an opportunity to look at those maps. I agree, it's very detailed. In fact, I think it's
Eric was at the meeting, yeah.
And, yeah, I think I can't wait for something similar here.
Mhm.
Matt, we've gotten a number from that same company, haven't we?
I'm gonna talk about that.
Oh, good. Mhm.
Okay, Commissioner Benjamin.
Yeah, the only thing I have is, Woodlands has some, issues that we're working through on, a possible contract breach that we're, working through, so, we'll have some additional information, after probably our next board meeting. But, anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Burris.
Nothing to report, sir.
Commissioner Jones.
Our beloved Cass County veterans, we got a new transportation director, so we're redoing our agreement, memorandum of agreement with them for our bus service that we have for veterans. I believe it's gonna be $50 an hour, but I haven't approved the paperwork yet, but I'm gonna sign it after I review it over the weekend, and then, it'll be in effect here in the next month or so. Other than that, business as usual. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know, who is the new transportation
I
director?
don't remember his name.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't remember the guy. I haven't met him yet.
okay.
So
Yeah, well, that's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
review the paperwork, then we'll talk to him about it, then we'll
Okay.
get to know each other.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, appointment committee.
Well, we're hard at work. We have a number of openings, the EDC, Woodlands, and very possibly the Historical Commission, so. And we are getting applicants. We just put someone on the Planning Commission, a new person to the community, and she has a planning background, so that's a real plus for us.
Any question for,
Yeah. Do you know how people are hearing? I mean, I'm curious as to what is our best mode to get the word
Well,
out?
one of the things is it's all on the website, and it has been on Facebook as well.
Social media.
Mhm.
Thanks.
okay, administrator.
Yes, my report is in the packet. I have a couple things I guess I wanted to touch on. First, we're working through the MERS non-union transition now, so forms have been issued to employees. Our departments and employees are working to complete those and get that DB to DC transition process underway for the end of the month. We're exploring, we talked about this a little bit at the workshop, but we're looking at a new agenda management system, actually through our current website provider. Clerk Register McMichael and myself were on a webinar not long ago to kind of look at what it can do, and there's a lot of really great things I think that it can help facilitate in terms of making minutes more searchable. I think it makes it easier for the public to interact with. There's a few features we'll say that I think are a little bit more advanced maybe that we would look at doing later, but we're still kind of looking at proposals for that now, and if we do make a determination to kind of bring that forward to you, we'll have a proposal probably next month. The courthouse interior demolition has been proceeding. I think they're getting close to completion there right now. I think they're working on kind of opening up that section where the new stairwell is going to go in. So that's kind of an exciting part of the process, one of the last steps. The administration office is pleased to announce that we have a new human resources assistant. Daisha Kirkland started with us on the 12th, so just this week. So it's been a quick start for her. We're trying to get her up to speed real quick as much as we can. So far, she's done really well. For later on the agenda, the GIS memorandum of understanding, I just wanted to note that we got confirmation from City Manager Anderson that the City of Dowagiac did approve that on their end. So once, if the Board of Commissioners were to approve that tonight, we can get that going into effect. And then the last thing we mentioned during the broadband discussion, the mapping, that was done by DCS Technology. Yes. I think Chris is the name of the owner.
Yep.
We've had a couple different meetings with him about being able to look at facilitating that sort of work here in the county. We do have a proposal. I would anticipate getting that to the Capital Projects Committee, hopefully sometime near the end of this month or early next month, and then having that on the agenda for the Board of Commissioners to consider for October. That is all I have for now.
Okay, any questions for the administrator?
Yes, just one briefly. The website, is that Civic Plus that you're, okay.
Yep. Yeah, and so like with the agenda software, it's a Civic Clerk, I think is the name of the product we've been looking
Okay.
at. So it
Civic Clerk?
Yep, ties right into our website services as well.
Okay. Is there extra charge for that?
I believe there will be. I know we budgeted some extra cost for that potentiality, but we haven't gotten a final proposal yet,
Okay.
so we'll see what that comes in at.
Okay. Finance report.
In the packet, if there's any questions, I'm willing to take them.
Any questions for
Oh, I didn't have any.
the purchase account? Okay. Public safety report.
Nothing.
County partners.
We don't have any county partners.
Elected officials.
What?
Unfinished business. All right, we'll go to new business. Commissioner Jones.
M 17222, this is a motion to approve the 2023 County Veteran Service Fund Grant. So moved.
Support.
Properly and supported. During discussion.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
What is a toolkit for?
Toolkit.
They give away things to.
Oh, that.
You
Oh,
talking
that's,
the divot tool?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's for golfing.
Oh, good, okay, so
Yeah.
that's a giveaway, okay, I
They
get
give
it.
away to draw people.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
all right.
stuff when people come in the door or things you can pass out.
Okay.
Just to get the awareness out there, and it's cheaper than, and easier than the social media.
Sure, okay, all right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Any other? No discussion or vote? And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Commissioner Layden.
Motion 173-22 is a motion to approve Deputy Director of GIS position at grade 10. I so move.
Second,
Any discussion on this motion?
yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Has this been posted?
No.
Okay, and it's gonna be posted,
Yeah, it would be posted upon approval tonight.
okay,
And this was kind of, I guess the way we looked at it, it was kind of intrinsically linked with the MOU, so
okay,
we didn't want to get ahead of ourselves.
okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Is this budgeted for the next fiscal year?
Yes, it was budgeted last year and this year.
Yes.
I'm sorry, this year and
This
next?
year and next year.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Any discussion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Mr. Marquetti.
Yes. M-174-22 is a motion to approve the MOU between the county and the city of Dowagiac for GIS services. And I move we approve this motion.
We'll probably move to support. Is there any discussion on this? Having none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Commissioner File.
Item 175-22 is a motion to approve amended 2022 public defender contract.
Support.
Probably move to support. Any discussion on this motion?
I think, I do have some questions. Okay, so, we're adding one attorney, correct?
Yeah, and actually, one thing I wanted to mention, and I didn't capture it very well in the background part of it, is that with the way that the MIDC grant works, there's a local share amount that's kind of
Yes.
preset.
Yes.
So the additional cost of the new attorney is actually gonna be covered entirely by the state. So it doesn't actually change the cost to the county. We worked with the MIDC on kind of the needs in terms of caseloads, things like that, and that the additional attorney came as a recommendation from them.
Okay, but then, so, and of course, with this, there's no benefits, correct?
I don't believe so, no. It's all via contract.
Okay, so then the next question I have is this conflict counsel that we would be adding in addition to the Cass County Defenders. And I see that the cost is $85.80 per month, but then there's $289. What's that for?
I'm thinking that's support staff, I think.
Is that for support
The
staff?
clerical support.
That's for the
That's how I
clerical
read it.
I
support?
believe it is.
Okay, but,
Yes.
okay,
And clerical support, yes.
okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, is there any other discussion on the motion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion does carry. Mr. Grice.
Motion 176-22, a motion to approve the 2023 MIDC grant. I so move.
I
Support.
said,
Properly moved supported. Is there any discussion on this motion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion does carry. Mr. Jones.
And 177-22 is a motion to approve fiscal year 22 budget amendment. So moved.
I second.
Any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Mr. Marquetti.
Yes, we have resolution R-178-22, and it's a resolution rejecting private money for funding elections. And I think this motion is very well written. Private organizations are not subject to the same law as public institutions. And therefore, the Cass County Board of Commissioners affirms that funding and managing elections is a government function, not a private function, that shall not approve or accept donations or grants of private money or personal or real property to the county for use or purposes of funding and managing elections. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to Governor Whitmer, Speaker of the House, Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, Representative Steve Carr, Representative Brad Paquette, Michigan Association of Counties, and the Michigan Association of County Treasurers, and I move we adopt this resolution.
Support.
Properly moved and supported to adopt this resolution. Is there any discussion on the resolution? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Marquetti?
Yes.
Chair Dice?
Yes.
Commissioner Benjamin?
Yes.
Commissioner Grice?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yep.
Commissioner Leyland?
Yes.
And Commissioner Miles? Yes.
Motion, resolution does pass. Commissioner Fox,
Okay, M 17922, it's a motion to approve a cleaning, oh, sorry, just a second.
Aliens.
get under your tables.
Sorry about that. Where was I?
Start over.
Is that a motion to approve a cleaning contract with the Cleanest Company LLC from July 7th, 2022 to July 30th, 2027, at a cost of $16,650 a month. I so move.
Support.
Properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion on this motion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I'm opposed to this motion as it is. We have a agreement with this company until June of 2023. I think what we should do, and when you start reading cost and contract, 55% or above of what we were paying, I think we should open this contract up 90 days before it expires, not 8, 9 months before it expires at this cost. I mean, that, I know there's a cost out there for supplies, but not at 55%. I struggle with that, and a 5-year contract. That just really concerns me. I think it should be a 2-year or something and not a 5. That's just my feeling, so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I took some notes. I'm opposed to this motion also. I recommend that this motion be voted down. Administration can work with the current vendor with the current agreement in place. And if the vendor wishes to terminate the current agreement, they can do that for the terms. Upon approval of the Board of Commissioners, then a new RFP may be issued at this time. That brings clarity around the terms. And it's not such a length in time that is out of line with cleaning contracts previously executed with the county. Just some history, on June 17th, 2021, this Board of Commissioners, approved M 10921 with all of the commissioners voting yes, except for Commissioner Leyland, who declared a conflict of interest. This contract award was for cleaning services to the county by the Cleanest Company LLC. This contract spelled out a contract frame of June 21st, 21 through June 17th, 2023, reference section F1, at a price of $10,095 per month for section B1. The county entered into this contract in good faith for execution. The Cleanest Company LLC began cleaning services for the county per the contract terms approved by the Cass County Board of Commissioners, and the Cass County paid for those services as agreed upon per the approved contract. The approved contract can be terminated by at least 2 options. First, on a yearly basis by mutual written agreement of both parties, section F3. No agreement was made between Cass County Board of Commissioners and the vendor to terminate the agreement. The second would be due to a breach of contract, which would allow a 30-day termination unless cured, section F2. No breach was reported to the board that I'm aware of, nor notice for action to cure a breach. According to the administrator's report provided for this motion, at the 1-year anniversary of this, the vendor requested to meet to discuss pricing of the contract. Upon that meeting, there was some discrepancies that arose and discussion about whether the contract had been signed by both parties. But it was acknowledged that both parties were working and receiving payment per the agreement details. It was determined that considering these terms as well as the economic conditions that were present for the vendor, wanted a price adjustment to the contract. The agreement or the contract that the board approved does not permit adjustment to price unless there is a change of duties. No new duties were assigned that the Board of Commissioners were made aware of, and if there were going to be, that would need to be sent to the board for us to approve, and the adjustments for the approved contract. If there were discrepancies around scope and agreement could not be reached, then the vendor could execute section F2 and terminate the contract within 30 days. The vendor has not chosen to do this. There is no basis for the administration to unilaterally, without the Board of Commissioners, to terminate the contract and submit a new RFP. In fact, it could be considered a breach by the county, since only the Board of Commissioners could make this decision, and in conjunction with either the term set in section F2 or F3. With regards to not having a written agreement in place, both parties have been executing the agreement per the terms for the contract for over a year. As for the market price changes, this is a risk of submitting bids. Other companies may have factored this into their bids, and by reopening this contract for what appears to be the sole purpose of providing an increase in payment, seems counter to what the entire bid process is. I also believe it opens up the county to challenges to our open and fair bidding processes. So without prior Board of Commissioner approval, the Administration Office issued a request of proposal on June 13, 2021. This request has about a 2-week deadline, 2 weeks for responses, and was sent directly to approximately 4 vendors and posted on the county website. And part to the request states in just over 30 days, that RFP was to be closed, submitted, and approved by the Board of Commissioners. Why was there a rush? This is highly unusual, especially in light that we have an existing agreement in place. Upon review of the new RFP, there are several concerns to me. Why are we having a 5-year contract? We have received complaints via email and public comments this year. Awarding a 5-year contract is not typically something that we would do with a vendor that has worked with the county for just over a year. I do not believe many other organizations would do that either. The only reason I can think of was to prevent the next Board of Commissioners from being able to consider cleaning vendors in the future. Also, the RFP does not specify a contract time period. This leads to confusion on the bidding, whereas vendors may be bidding with different contract periods in mind when evaluating risks. The vendor says that invoicing will be paid on the first Friday of each month, whereas our original request for proposal and tonight's proposed contract states payment will be made on the 30th of the month, immediately following the month in which services have been completed, see section C4. This is in conflict with each other. I do not believe it was legal for the Administration Office to move forward with the RFP without the Board of Commissioners' approval in light of the prior board action being in place. I do not believe the RFP process was fair to vendors so that each vendor could properly be compared to each other. I do not believe the RFP was widely distributed in order to create a competitive bidding process for the county. I strongly am opposed to the length of this cleaning contract. I do not believe there is a valid reason why this contract process was reopened, and it makes the county's motives suspect at best. I recommend voting no on this motion, and if there's no objection, I request that my statements be put into the minutes.
Any other discussion? Commissioner Marquez?
Yes, I have the old contract, I have the new contract, I've read the other contracts, I've read the RFPs, but like you, Robert, I spent a lot of time on this. I'd rather see a 2-year time frame. I think that things change so much and so rapidly, as witnessed by this past year when, and I'm well aware that I'm sure the cleaning supplies have gone up 30%. I thought that their increase was I have it as a 40% increase. And I understand that they would need an increase, but I would prefer to see maybe a 25 or a 30% increase, just because I happen to know how much cleaning supplies have gone up, having to, purchase them myself. I don't have any problem with the contract. In fact, if we pay them every 2 weeks, they're gonna give us a 9% price break. If they spick and span the other company that responded to the RFP, what was their, it was what, $386,000 a year?
$7,000 a week.
$7,000 a week, yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a far better deal for us. They've been working for us. We've been paying them. On page 4, it says modification of agreement. Modifications, amendments, or waivers of any provision of this agreement may be made only by written mutual consent of the parties here too. I think by them asking to open up the, did they write to us and ask us to open up the contract? Or was it verbal?
It was a meeting.
It was a meeting, they asked us to open up the contract. It's my understanding that shortly after they started, different duties were added. And I do have a duty that I would like to add to the contract, and that is in offices where the public comes in, and I'd like them to, I don't know if they do for sure, but I didn't see it in their proposal. I'd like them to wipe off that, and probably on a daily basis in that, because we get so many people coming in. So I'm in favor of making a few changes to this contract, but if they quit tomorrow, what do we do?
Commissioner File.
I'm a bit trying to remember, I remember when I saw the first, when we got the law and courts building, how much, it was a lot of money that we were paying for janitorial services. And this building got nothing. You don't remember that. They hardly did anything in this building. We didn't pay for, you guys were vacuuming your own rooms, dusting, and
Years
you
ago,
were doing it.
yes, years ago, yeah.
So, and if I'm trying to remember, but I think it was at least this much or more. But anyway, I'm for, I'll vote yes for this.
Any other discussion? I looked at the contract myself, and I do run a company, we do contracts all the time. I think 7 years is too much. I think we should go 7 years. I think that within a year, the other courthouse will be done. This building will not be part of what we're doing at that time anyway, so I would suspect that the cost will probably go down some, but you have that, you can do that, because the new courthouse, the old courthouse will be a new courthouse. There'll be less work in that building, and you have to understand this building was built in 1976, so. And $16,000, I tell you, the issue was that I talked to the chairman of the board at ISD, and I asked the guy, how much is it? And he says, it depends. There are consultants that can come in and tell you how much it costs to clean your building, but we don't know what that number is, what's too high and what's too low, and I couldn't figure that out, and I talked to several people. I'm gonna vote for it, but I don't think the timeline is right. I think 7 years is way too long. Probably 2 years, or I would almost say a year even, because like I said, it's gonna change within a year, you know that.
Yes,
Because
that's
the buildings
true.
are gonna change.
That's true.
And so, I would not give them 7 years, but if you want to do an amendment, you want to vote on it, I'd amend it, we'd change that time limit to a 1 year or 2 year contract.
Chair,
Yes,
so did, and all of these documents are blended together, did the RFP come in as a 5-year proposal?
Yes.
So I don't know that we can change that.
And I
And that was
don't-
part of my complaint, is that the RFP didn't have a time frame. So you have different companies that could conceivably be looking at, I'm gonna do 1 year, I'm gonna do 5 years. So you're not comparing things.
RFP went out for 5 years, all right?
No,
No, and
I
I
didn't
can
have any specifications.
tell you, some of this predates my tenure as county administrator a little bit, but the RFP was issued, but it didn't have a specified time frame.
Which is something maybe we can change that. We need to change that. We can review that. The policy committee can do that,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But I would, Skip has a good point, a year. I mean, I'm willing to go, my first suggestion was 2 years, but you brought up that within a year, we are gonna be in that building, so we could go forward for a year.
How do you change someone else's bid? I don't see how you can do that. They bid it and said, we're doing 5 years. You can't come back and say, no, we're only gonna let you do 2 years.
Isn't that what's called negotiation,
Well,
negotiating?
but we can't do it here. If they wanna go back, I guess administration wants to go back and have that conversation.
It seems to me that it's in front of us. It's in front of us. We're the ones that, in fact, you even said the board needed to see this, or the boards needs to say, it's in front of us right now. Why aren't we gonna, I think we should deal with it.
Could I ask Matt?
The floor is open. Go ahead.
Sure.
Can we offer them, approve 2 years and offer that to them, or can it?
I mean, I think probably an avenue would be to propose that. I mean, I think they would have to agree to that, but I don't think we'd be able to necessarily adopt that tonight, but you could authorize, I guess, the administration to take that proposal back to account, you know, like you mentioned with the courthouse coming, I mean, it does make some sense to kind of tie those things together and could serve as a good compromise between the two.
So is there, so you're gonna table this, what do you?
Well, we can postpone this, pending, your discussion with the cleaning company
Okay.
and talk a little bit about the charge. As I say, I'm fine with a 25 to 30% increase, because I think that's fair. And I appreciate that they've been working with us, and we've been trying to work with them, and
And the alternative company is double,
more than double,
more than double the
Yep.
amount.
380-some thousand.
So we're opening this up again, so this, what are we gonna do with this motion?
I don't really agree with you, Roseanne, that $16,000, I know how much people charge to come in and clean your home. It's like up to $40 an hour. And I don't think 16,000 is.
Out of line,
Out of line.
okay.
Okay.
So Chair,
Yes,
me personally, I haven't evaluated the cost, piece, and I'm not gonna venture down that road, but, I would recommend voting down this and then making a motion for Matt to negotiate the timeframe and bring a new contract back at the next board meeting.
yeah, and that's one avenue you can use, so. So the meeting stand, I mean, the motion still stands, so if there's no discussion, no more discussion, we'll vote. Any more discussion? We'll vote. All in favor of the motion is,
Roll call, please.
yes, we can do that.
Roll call vote on the existing motion, which is to approve a cleaning contract with the Cleanest Company LLC from July 7th, 2022 until July 30th, 2027 at a cost of $16,650 per month. Commissioner File,
Yes.
Chair Dice,
Yes is
Yes, is that you approve the contract? Correct, am I correct?
yes is a vote to approve the contract with the amount and the exact timeframes as written.
Administration.
I'm gonna vote no on that.
Commissioner Marquetti,
Yeah, I'm gonna vote no too, and I'm writing the next motion, so.
Commissioner Benjamin,
No.
And then
Commissioner Grice,
No.
company to
and
negotiate
Commissioner Jones.
The only yes.
timeframe.
No, Commissioner File voted yes,
Oh, okay.
and I have Leyland on the record, Commissioner Leyland on the record is abstaining. So I have 2 yes and 4 no,
Which means
so the motion
is
fails.
defeated.
Okay, so then I,
But we have a
well, I will,
motion.
and I gotta look and see where we should add that.
Okay, move to the next motion.
Chair,
Yes.
I think she may have a motion on this agenda topic. Commissioner Marquetti, so if you could bear a minute.
Oh, do you want me to do it right now?
It's still part of this
Okay,
agenda.
okay, I move to request, administration, administrator meet with the Cleanest Company to negotiate a time frame and a cost, with, a new contract, adding, oh, and I gotta add this, sorry, Monica, to add, wiping down the counters that when the public come in,
To wipe down public counters.
yeah.
I'll second that.
Properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion on the new motion? Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I still need to abstain.
Okay, I understand.
I will do that.
I wasn't concerned so much about the money, I was more concerned about the time.
Okay,
I just think.
you want me to remove the money from my motion?
No, I'm just saying that I'm not concerned about the time, I mean, the motion, because this is gonna be negotiated anyway, so
Okay,
I just think 7 years is too long.
okay,
And that's it, stating some of the reasons I stated, so, but that's just my opinion. No other discussion? Joe?
okay, can we have a roll call on that, please? Roll call,
Roll call.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Commissioner Benjamin,
Yes.
Commissioner Grice,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Oh.
Commissioner File, Chair Dice,
Yes,
and Commissioner Marquetti.
Yes.
motion passes, new motion passes. So we'll move forward. Thanks a lot. motion 9, Commissioner Leyland.
Motion 180-22 is a motion to hold a special meeting on September 29th at 3 PM for final design presentation of historic courthouse and renovation proposal. I so move.
Second?
Properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion on this motion? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, at the last meeting, I had specifically requested not the last week of the
Oh,
month,
okay.
and,
Oh, I
see
thought-
that was scheduled, so, I'm opposed because I can't be here. So,
Oh,
That was completely unintentional. It's just the way the timeline's working out with final numbers.
is there any way we can move it? He's coming back the 30th, right? Is there any way we can move that?
I'm trying to remember from the meeting what the timeline constraints were.
I know we weren't able to move it up.
if it works for everyone else, then you guys can proceed without me, but this is something.
If you'd like to be in
3
attendance,
years,
we can
so
move it.
well, not
We'd like
budget
to
on
be
that.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
That's Thursday, I mean, Friday.
Friday is good.
Can you make Friday?
No, I mean, that's.
Oh,
last
Friday
week.
won't work anyways because of
Yeah.
conflicting schedules.
Yeah.
But if everyone else is going, then just proceed.
We're just trying to do it and not have it in conjunction with a commissioner meeting because it's gonna be a pretty in-depth meeting.
Yeah.
Can we,
My preference would be if you guys were able to do it on the 7th, which would be, I think, after our next meeting, that would work for me. If not, then proceed as you are. But
Can you-
that's kind of why I wanted it earlier than later.
is there gonna be a tour or is it just a meeting or, and a
Yeah,
presentation?
there's gonna be a few different things.
Okay, because can we YouTube some of it so he can?
I mean, it'd be a public meeting, we probably could do that, but, I mean, I don't think it'd be a problem to, I mean, we could potentially move it a week.
Which one?
A week further out.
I mean, it's,
I
yeah,
mean-
further out, yeah. I can't move up,
No.
but I could move back. I mean, the 7th after the meeting on the 6th, we could do something on the 7th.
Or we push it to the following, would the following Monday work later?
It would have to be the 7th, I think.
That'd be the 7th.
I can be available.
So should I just, does somebody wanna amend the motion to change the date?
Well, I want to make sure everybody else is okay with that. Otherwise, I'd
What
be
day,
more than
what
happy
day
to
is the
do that.
7th? What's,
Wait, hang on,
Friday.
I might be in
Friday?
Vegas.
Okay.
oh, you might be in Vegas.
Football game, priorities, man.
The 7th of,
October, don't look at December or November, that won't do you any good.
no, none of those. Well, what are we gonna do?
I don't think we're gonna get any pushback from anybody involved on pushing it further out. They'll probably be a little more relieved, cause we've been on them about getting things accomplished.
I mean, I think they'd be agreeable to giving more time.
Are we all gonna be here on the 7th? I will.
I can be.
You bet.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to amend the current motion to change September 9th to October 7th.
I'll second.
And the motion amended to move the date? September 29th to
October 7th.
October 7th?
I probably won't be here.
At 3
You
PM
won't be
still?
here?
Oh, you won't be
You
here at
don't,
7?
oh, wait a second.
Just roll with it,
No, you gotta.
just roll with it,
You gotta be here. You're on the committee. You gotta be here.
roll with it.
They had just suggested go ahead and do it on the 29th.
Let's just do it the 7th, the 7th will work. I'll just fly out later.
You know what?
I'll fly out later.
You wanna do earlier then?
No, 3 PM's fine. Yeah, I'll make it work.
I can do early, that's fine.
If we could do like 9 AM, that'd be great.
I can do it at 9 AM.
I, perfect for me.
9 AM? Can you do it at 9 AM?
Yeah, I'm fine, I have the whole day off. So, Chair, can we finish the amendment and I'll make another amendment for the time?
Motion amended is October, change the date from September 29th to October 7th?
At 9 AM.
At 9 AM?
Okay.
We gotta finish the original
Oh, you know
amendment
what?
to then amend the
You
amendment.
know what? You know what? Wait a second. We got Connexus that day. Don't we have Connexus that morning at
You guys supposed to look at your clock.
8 AM?
Somebody's gonna have to rock, paper, scissors this out and
Yeah,
not come.
we are.
I guess we're gonna go back to the original day. But
Okay.
you got amendment on the table.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do.
You're picking corn, but I'll take that time.
Like I said.
So what time is
You guys
Connexus?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
And
What
that's
time does
over.
Connexus get over?
By 10.
10?
at the latest.
Or we
11
would-
a.m.
11 a.m.?
That'd give us an hour drive here.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
what's the
Please.
amendment? Okay, let's start all over again.
Okay. Robert, do your
Okay.
motion.
The motion was.
To change September 29th, at 3 PM to October 7th at 11.
Okay.
I second.
There's the motion.
That's
That's
what
amended.
It's
we-
teamwork right there.
We'll vote
It
on,
certainly is.
Vote on the motion as amended. which says-
Talk about a board
Well,
getting along.
vote,
The regular motion, which is the
We
regular
gotta vote on the amendment.
first, and then we'll vote on the
Okay.
regular motion. Amended motion, which is, we change the date from September 29th to October 7th at 11 o'clock. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of that motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Robert, where we going now? We gotta vote on the regular
Now,
motion.
the amended motion.
Yeah, the motion, which is we have a meeting at September 29th. No,
No.
You have on the table right now a motion to hold a special meeting on October
October
7th at
7th.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
for final design presentation of the historical courthouse and
That's-
renovation
that's
proposal.
motion and amended.
And it's been,
It's been approved.
no, we haven't voted on that. We voted for the
Original
motion to amend.
We voted
Now
to
you're
amend.
voting on the amended motion.
The
Now we're
amended
voting on
motion.
the amended motion.
Amended motion, which says we will have that meeting on October 7th.
7th at 11 a.m. Okay,
It's been moved and supported.
yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I didn't have any discussion.
Okay,
Any
This
more
is good.
discussion?
this is
All in
good.
favor, say nay.
Nope,
Motion
this is good.
passes.
All in favor, say aye.
Okay, Commissioner Leyland, we just done that.
Yeah, I just did mine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna talk to you again. Commissioner Marquetti.
Yes, M 181-22 is a motion to appoint Richard Palmisano to the Woodlands Behavioral Healthcare Network Board to an unexpired term ending March 31st, 2023. And I move we approve this.
Second?
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I think Rich is a good person to have on some of our
Yes,
boards
he
and
is.
committees at the county level.
Yes, he is.
Any other discussion?
Where's he from?
He lives in,
LaGrange,
LaGrange, the northern part of LaGrange.
yes. And he has, he serves right now on the
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission, and he asked me about serving on another board, and since I had met him and put him on the Planning Commission, I had Louis talk to him, and Louis called him and was very pleased with what he heard, and we have a number of openings on Woodland, so he's a good fit.
Okay. Any other discussion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. Commissioner File.
M 182-22 is a motion to appoint Jane Bailey to the Cass County Planning Commission to an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2022.
Support.
Probably moved and supported. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Jane Bailey is from which township?
I have no idea.
Let me think.
She
Penn?
lives,
I think so.
Isn't she in the village?
No, I don't, well, she has Cassopolis address, but I think she's in Penn.
I just put that stuff in my file too. I thought I had it in my bag.
When you have a chance, just send me a note on it.
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
This is the young lady that I mentioned has the planning and zoning background. So as soon as we saw that, we said, yeah. So I will check. Mhm.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I usually know right off the bat.
No other discussion. We'll
Cassopolis, so
vote.
that's okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We have no closed session. Board member comments and announcements.
Well, we have two things going on in Onto Township, Edwardsburg. On Saturday, we have an art fair at the American Legion, and that's from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. And then we have Fall Festival and a business expo at the fire station, and that's from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And all of them, there's no admission, and there'll be food, and they'll be nice. So please come.
Any other board announcements and comments? I have a comment. Last week was my big week to go to the Mackinac Bridge,
Oh, yeah.
and there was only, I think, 100 tractors long.
Oh, is that all?
And as I mind my own business, and I was a good boy, because normally I could have been smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. And a certain person, hey Skip, how you doing? I'm thinking like, who's calling me? Skip, you must know me, or don't like me, or whatever. It's our new day.
And he was drinking beer and smoking.
Tells you, you can't ever get too far away from home before somebody discovers you. So it's good to see him.
You can't get away with anything.
So I ran everybody away that was supposed to be sticking with me.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Probably move second.